Craving for liberation equals magnifying suffering. Mental states arising moment by moment are similar to people fighting one another. When we witness these mind states in conflict, we don't want to get caught up in them. If we do not get involved, we will not get unnecessarily hurt or cause ourselves to suffer. But if we observe carefully, we will see there is a self which tries not to get involved, which tries to avoid suffering. There exists self-protection, a safeguard of the heart to prevent suffering. This creates seeking and struggling to be released from suffering, which consequently causes suffering. Even if we leave our jobs seeking for and practicing Dhamma, we cannot get away from suffering. There is suffering, simply suffering, because of wanting to escape from suffering. But when we practice attentively, seeking for liberation is good enough when it is done perfectly. Then I rejoice in your merit. But if we consider this deeply, we see that is only thinking. When staying in the monastery or on retreats, we still cannot be free from suffering as we may have planned. No matter how hard we try, we are still not free. It's as if there is a thorn piercing very near our heart, but we can't find it. Let go of all craving in the present moment. Let go of the craving to be free from suffering. There is no one moving forward, no one stepping back, and no one staying still. Since in reality suffering does not exist, the original mind will always be peaceful. Struggling is not peaceful. Such non-peacefulness is suffering. Happiness lies with peacefulness. However, we do not try and force the mind to become peaceful. But when the mind is peaceful from ambitious struggling, all suffering is suddenly extinguished. Because the culprit of suffering and endless reincarnation is craving, wanting, and desiring. When desire is extinguished, the mind is peaceful. The mind is peaceful because the craving in the mind has been extinguished. We must cease craving for liberation and end our desire to escape suffering. Simply put, when the mind stops struggling, all suffering disappears. No real self exists for one who has been liberated from suffering, and no real self exists for one who suffers.